let's hope not. And we've also had a number of cars crashed early on in the weekend this year. We've got that out of our system now, and we can go for some clear laps and try to avoid the safety car.
Your heart is breaking. I wish I could fast forward, take all your pain and erase it. Feet on the ground, feet on the ground.
Sports to the game.
Even when we're upside down, round and around, we'll never fall in out. The world is going sideways. I know my place is here with you. When all good nights turn to dark days, I know I'll stay next to you. When your heart's dark and barely hold on, when your sky is running out of blue, when the world is going sideways, I'll be sideways, sideways here with you. Sideways here with you.
Hey guys, it's Billie Eilish. Listen to today's top hits, a playlist where hits are made, only on Spotify.
continuing to lead, and just Jose having little looks everywhere, still not able to get around him. What an unbelievable defensive masterclass this is from Unorthodox. Pit window, we reckon, is open, so the game reckons that these guys need to make one more pit stop for a fresh set of inters. As we see just Jose having a little look to the inside. Dan tries to close the door, squeezes up against the pit wall. It goes late on the brakes just Dan. Somehow he's going to hold on to that position. Wow, unbelievable racing that was from Unorthodox. Just Jose had the inside line. Dan went so late on the brakes and managed to hold it down on the outside, and just Jose wasn't able to cling onto the position. That is incredible racing there from Unorthodox. Really got his elbows massively there in that little battle. But just Jose still not able to get ahead of Dan. But is he going to be able to do it now? He's going to have the outside. Dan's going to try and throw one back up the inside. As he is. Oh, look at that. He's gone deep into the corner though. And I think just Jose's got to have that move done. He has. Just Jose swoops round into the lead of the Russian Grand Prix here at Motive Racing. Dan can fight it no more. He's put up a valiant effort. Here we are then, ladies and gentlemen. You join us at Sochi in Russia for round 13 of the XL F1 League. Wednesday and Sunday, Tier 1s out on track right now. Bit of a depleted field for tonight, but nonetheless, I'm sure we're in for some good action, as it looks like we've got Viper sat on provisional pole at the moment. He's got about 0.3 of a second at the top of that leaderboard over RaKiMaJe, who's sat in second place for the time being. Then you've got Bennett LCFC doing his usual medium tyre run up into third place, so that's a very, very quick lap there on the mediums for Bennett. Mark Bow will be lining up in P4 for this one on the soft tyres. Horatio likewise on the softs. He'll be in fifth. Looks like he's down on his personal best on this current lap that he's on. He might get another lap in after this one though, so sit tight. Horatio could be on a good one on the next one. Gino LeBron, haven't seen him for a while. Good to see him out on track. Currently P6 in the moment in this session. Got Karts in 7th, Andrew Pipsmith in 8th place for the time being, Sophie in 9th, Iron Wolf completing the top 10, and Paul Codd in 11th place here for this one. So, RaKiMaJe is on the out lap. Is he going to get around in time? I don't think he is. He's not going to start another lap in this session. So So did Horatio get around in time? No, it looks like he's brought it in. So Horatio's done for the session as well. That means it's just Gino, LeBron and Karts out there on lap times at the moment. And Paul Card as well. So we'll see how these guys get on their final runs of this session. Gino LeBron's a bit down on his middle sector. Doesn't look like it's going to be a quick lap time for him. And he's right in front of a Ferrari here. As it looks like RaKiMaJe is trying to get on with his lap, but he's being impeded a little bit. He's eventually allowed through. But I wonder if that's going to have prevented him from really getting himself up ahead of Viper on provisional pole position. Yeah, it looks like he's backed out of it there. So I think that's that done there for him. So Gino technically still on the lap, but he's down by quite a bit on his personal best. Karts is in the pits. So he's also done for the session as well. So I believe that is going to be that for qualifying here for round 13 of the XL F1 League here on a Wednesday and Sunday. You see Gino coming in towards the final corner, and it's going to be a little bit way off of his personal best. So that is that then for the qualifying session. Viper putting it on top spot there with a lovely lap, 3/10 ahead of RaKiMaJe. And that's Viper's first pole that I've seen him get here in the XL F1 League. So really hats off to him. RaKiMaJe line up alongside him on the front row with Bennett, LCFC and Mark Bow in 3rd and 4th places. Horatio 5th, Gino LeBron behind them, then Karts, Andrew Pittsmith, Sophie in 9th, with Iron Wolf 10th, and Paul Codd will round out the field in 11th place for this one. Drop a like on the video, guys. Join the XL Racing League in the description. The link's in the description to the Discord, and also join Motive Racing. But we'll see you on the other side of this. I think there's lights on. We're about to go racing here at Russia for round 13 of the season, and it's lights out and away we go. And the Viper gets a very good start there. Looks like RaKiMaJe slightly bogged down. Bennett's looking to his outside. He's also got Mark Bow looking to his inside. These guys might go 3 wide coming up towards turn 1 as we see Andrew Pittsmith going into the wall a little bit up towards the first corner. He's got the Red Bulls there for Horatio and the Gino LeBron in the Alpine just ahead of him, but they all go a little bit wide coming to the first corner. Sorry, the Williams even. But Bennett LCFC goes round the outside of Viper up into the lead of the race there. Great start from Bennett LCFC. Viper is in position there. There's RaKiMaJe and Karts side by side coming in towards turn 3. RaKiMaJe managed to get that hold it on the inside, but Karts is around the outside for turn 4 and it's going to have that position done up into 3rd place. Lovely move there from Karts. There's Mark Bow, Gino LeBron, Andrew Pittsmith, Horatio, Sophie, Iron Wolf, and we see Horatio losing the back end of the car there in turn 5, and he's down to the back of the pack. Disaster for Horatio. His teammate Bennett leading the field though, out the front ahead of Viper, Karts, RaKiMaJe, Mark Bow, Gino LeBron, Andrew Pittsmith, Sophie, Iron Wolf, Paul Codd and Horatio at the back of this pack at the moment, dropping way off with that little skirmish there on the opening lap. But Viper's still on the back of Bennett. Looks like Karts has also got RaKiMaJe giving him some heavy pressure. Gino's got around Mark Bow up into 5th. Can Mark Bow try and come back at him down the end of this long straight? Let's have a look as they go onto the brakes. I think that Gino's just going to hold on to that one on the inside and stays in P5. He's on the back of Karts and RaKiMaJe as well, as all of these guys are now battling it out as Mark Bow very wide there through that part of the track, but holds on to P6 for the time being ahead of Andrew Pittsmith. So Iron Wolf, Paul Codd, Horatio well off with them 8 seconds behind the next car, which is Paul Codd in P10. But Bennett has pulled out a bit of a gap here at the end of this first lap. He's got 1.3 seconds here over Viper, so Bennett has got the pace straight out of the blocks here despite being on those medium tyres. He's clearly showing he's not hanging around here at the start of this one. Great opening lap there from Bennett. Viper's got just under a second back to Karts. Looks like Horatio's into the pits to get that pit stop done there at the end of lap 1. But plenty going on, plenty of action here on that first lap, and currently Bennett leads by just over a second to Viper right now, and RaKiMaJe is trying to go around the outside of Karts in towards turn 3. He's got that done as RaKiMaJe, beautifully done. Karts is now going to defend because Gino LeBron's going to try and knock him while he's down here in towards turn 4 if he can. They're side by side, bit of banging wheels between the two of them, and Gino Bron is up into 4th place there ahead of Karts. He can now focus his attention here on RaKiMaJe up ahead of him, but Karts is trying to come back at him, can't do it, and Gino is up into 4th place relatively comfortably there. So interesting first couple of laps here for the XLF1 League. Karts has been passed there by Mark Bow. Mark Bow's back up into 5th place. Andrew Pittsmith just under a second up for these guys. There's Soph with Iron Wolf hot on her tail at the moment. Paul Codd's dropped off for these a little bit in P10. Horatio making an early pit stop, putting the medium tyres on, can go long into this race. Bennett though leads by 0.8 of a second. Viper's hunting him down and keeping him very much on his toes here in the first part of this race though. Bennett and Viper currently out the front. Bennett though on those medium tyres can go long into this stint, and he'll be looking to try and bounce back. Will Bennett, he took 6 wins on the trot before the last race at Monza, where he ended up having a bit of a nightmare and lost his winning run down to just a few incidents really, and a couple of mistakes here and there through Ascari chicane dropped him out of the equation, but he's out back in front, back doing what he does best right now. RaKiMaJe just got Giovannini, who's inside coming into turn 1, can't get it done. Mark Bow, Karts running in 5th and 6th. Andrew Pittsmith, there's Soph and Iron Wolf still pretty close. They've managed to gap Paul Cobb by quite a bit now, who's running 2.5 seconds off at the back of them in 10th place right now. Gap between Bennett and Viper 0.6 of a second though, and these two continuing to give us a great fight here in the early stages of this race. So Iron Wolf and Soph there still continuing to fight it out. Soph's trying to get up onto the back of him if he can and force him into a mistake, but at the moment Iron Wolf's not showing any creases and is holding on grimly for the time being. Paul Codd's actually closed in on these two a little bit now, just about a second between those two. Andrew Pittsmith's all closed on to Karts a little bit. Looks like Karts is now facing heavy pressure from that papaya McLaren of Andrew Pittsmith. Mark Bow still got RaKiMaJe and Gino very much within his sights there. And this battle is for the final podium spot. RaKiMaJe not managing to shake off Gino and Mark Bow just at the moment. Bennett's still got about 7-8 tenths of a second gap to his Viper at the moment, and that gap's kind of staying at around the same at this point. DRS will be open for these guys coming down the start-finish straight, so I wonder if Viper will be able to get a good exit out of this final corner and get himself within striking distance as they come up towards the DRS zone. Is there DRS down this part of the track? Maybe not, I don't know. Yes, there is. Yes, there we go. Wide open there for Viper, and now he's going to have an opportunity coming up towards turn 1. Is he going to be close enough to throw a move down the inside of Bennett? I don't think he's quite close enough. RaKiMaJe still ahead of Gino. Mark Bow just holding on there ahead of Karts, 4th, 5th. And look at this, Andrew Pittsmith just trying to get ahead of Karts there, but Iron Wolf and Soph side by side, and Iron Wolf breaks later than Soph into turn 1 and holds on to that one. Soph though tries to get the cut back coming through turn 2, but Iron Wolf holds on to that one for the time being. Paul Codd closing in on these two as it goes on. 1.3 now back off of them after it was 2.5 seconds a couple of laps ago. Bennett and Viper though separated by 7 tenths at the moment. Gino within 7 tenths to RaKiMaJe. Mark Bow's closed up onto the back of Gino. Has managed to shake off Karts by quite a bit. Karts has still got heavy pressure from Andrew Pittsmith. Battles going on all over the place right now. With only 11 cars on the track, you'd have thought that there'd be a bit less fighting going on, but no, not by any stretch of the imagination. It's still all going off here. But Bennett LCFC currently doing a fantastic job out the front, leading this race by 6 tenths of a second at the moment in these early laps of the race. So still can't get ahead of Iron Wolf. Look at this, she's been really pushing him for the last few laps. They've managed to pull out about 2 seconds to record over this last lap or so. Viper's still keeping Bennett on his toes. He does have DRS, but he's a little bit further back this time around than he has been the last couple of laps. RaKiMaJe has still got Gino very much on his rear wing. Mark Bow just kind of running in no man's land there in P5. Andrew Pittsmith having Karts looking all over him. Andrew's got ahead of Karts up into 6th place, so he's made that move. Now he can try and chase down Mark Bow in 5th, or his Kart's going to try and come back at him here over his next couple of laps. Also, Soph has got ahead of Iron Wolf up into 8th, so nicely done there from Soph. Is Iron Wolf going to try and throw one down the inside in towards turn 3? He's going to have a look, but Soph not too perturbed by that one and gets herself up into 8th place there. as they're continuing to pull away from Paul Codd now, who takes the Bollard with him there, coming through turn 4. Bennett, 0.6 of a second, is gap to Viper. Viper pushing him every little way that he possibly can at the moment. 0.8 now, the gap. Bennett looks like he's just got the measure of Viper at the moment. As RaKiMaJe is still holding on ahead of Gino LeBron. Andrew Pittsmith not really shaking off Karts too much though, still only 0.7 between those two, as Karts have DRS coming down this part of the track, and that will definitely get himself a little bit closer to the back of Andrew once again, but not close enough for the time being. Iron Wolf back ahead of Soph, these two side by side. A great racing from these two. Iron Wolf there managing to squeeze back ahead of Sophie up into 8th place, and she looks like she's not able to come back in for the time being. Gino's still on the back of RaKiMaJe, half a second between these two as they're coming through the final part of this lap, but Bennett and Viper now separated by half a second. This is the closest that they've been before the DRS. Now the DRS is going to be open for Viper. This has got to be his best opportunity of taking the lead. Here we go. Very, very close in towards the braking zone now. The braking zone's going to come just in time for Bennett there. That was pretty close there, but he's gone wide though. He definitely gained an advantage by going off the track there, I'd have to say. If he does that anymore, then he'll probably get a penalty for that, so he needs to watch out. That was a little bit naughty there from Bennett, but he used track limits to his advantage and holds on for P1 for the time being ahead of Viper. RaKiMaJe still just ahead of Gino LeBron. Gino's still not been able to find a way through at the moment. Mark Bowe ahead of Karts in 5th. Karts has still got Andrew. He's got back ahead of Andrew actually. Karts is now back up into P6, so these two continue to dice it out. Iron Wolf's now got about a second back to Soph, so he's pulled out the gap a little bit, but Sophie is on the medium tyres, so she can go long into this stint. We'll see if that can pay off for her over the course of this race. Andrew over only 0.4 behind Karts right now. Mark Bowe within 0.2 of a second of Gino. Is he going to be able to use the DRS to his advantage here? He's going to have a look to the inside. That will become the outside as they get into the braking zone. No, Gino can't get around Mark Bowe there. Managing to get it done, Gino, but Gino throws it up the inside and manages to get it done there. Oh, great racing there from Gino. Back up into P4. He lost the position, but he's now back up into 4th. These two lost a couple of seconds to oh no, Gino's wide though. And that's given Mark Bowe the position straight back there as he swoops back up the inside. These two losing hand over fist of time to RaKiMaJe, who's in 3rd place. But Mark Bowe managing to come out on top in that little scrap with Gino for now. Gino will have DRS coming out of the final corner out onto the start-finish straight though. He looks like he's going to be a little bit too far back to make that work for him though. And Mark Bowe up into 4th place. Great racing there from those two. As Bennett's managed to pull out over a second out the front to Viper. 1.2 between these two out the front. Further 3.9 back to RaKiMaJe, sat in 3rd place for the time being. Mark Bowe still trying to weather this storm with Gino absolutely hassling the back of him. Karts there sat in 6th. He's got only 0.3 back to Andrew Pittsmith at the moment. They've got a bit of a gap back to Iron Wolf, who's still got Soph hassling him for 8th place. These two well and truly ditched Paul Codd as Gino's out of the race. Oh no, Gino LeBron's DNF. He's crashed out there, coming through the middle sector. Where is his car? I can't see his car. I'm trying to just ride with somebody else so I can see where his car is, but his car has disappeared off the face of the earth. And Gino LeBron is out of the race there. Double waved yellow flags through sector 2. No safety car, not even a VSC, and that'll be because the car is well out of the way by the looks of it. He's left the session. Gino's out of this one. That is a real shame there for him. We're down to 10 drivers here on lap 7 of the Russian Grand Prix for the XL F1 League. And that's unfortunate there for them. But Andrew Pittsmith has got ahead of Karts up into 5th. Karts trying to come back at him around the outside. Can he do so? No. For the time being, Andrew Pittsmith's got that one back up into P5. Karts there running just behind him, still looking to try and get back on him if he can, as Iron Wolf's gapped Sophie a little bit, now 2 seconds between those two. Bennett's well and truly ditched Viper out the front, 2.5 seconds between these two, and with Bennett being on his medium tyres, he well and truly puts himself in the driver's seat for this one, quite literally and metaphorically. But Viper's still going to be giving him a good fight in this race, I'm sure. He's got a bit of a gap back to RaKiMaJe. Viper's very much secure in that 2nd place for now. Mark Bowe only 2 seconds off of RaKiMaJe. And Mark Bowe, if he continues to lap like he is at the moment, could very much bring himself into contention for a podium spot, being that he's on the mediums, and he's definitely going to have an opportunity to put the softs on later on and have that pace advantage over the medium runners. But we'll have to see how that pans out over the course of this race. Depends how long you can go on the mediums and how long you can go on the softs around this track. I'd imagine tyre wear is probably a little bit brutal around a track like this, so seeing as there are lots of tight corners and heavy braking zones, as well as faster corners as well. The fast corners are going to be the ones that really kill the tyres, so we'll have to see whether or not that pays dividends to the guys on the medium tyres over the course of this one. Obviously, Bennett, Mark Bowe, Soph, Paul Codd and Horatio all started on the mediums. Everybody else started on the softs. Nobody's come into the pits so far in this race. So everybody's stayed out on the track straight from the start to the current point. But Bennett now with a 3-second lead over Viper out at the front. Andrew Pittsmith still hasn't been able to shake off Karts. These two separated by 0.8 of a second coming through the DRS. So Karts will be able to close up onto him a little bit through the DRS zone, but he's nowhere near close enough coming into the braking zone to get back ahead of him for the time being. Bennett's lead just almost 4 seconds now, continuing to stretch it out. Viper has gone quite a long time on those softs, but he's staying out for now. RaKiMaJe also staying out. So is Mark Bowe. He's on the mediums, obviously. Andrew Pittsmith electing to keep it going on the soft tyres for now, and Kart's doing the same. So none of these soft runners coming in to change tyres. I'm surprised, I've got to say. Iron Wolf has managed to put a bit of a gap between himself and Soph. Soph still running 8th place, still some very good points on the table there. But the whole pack kind of pulling away from each other, except Andrew Pittsmith and Karts, who are separated by 0.6 of a second as they came into turn 1. Looked like Karts did have a bit of a dose of DRS, but wasn't able to use it to his advantage just there. So lap 9 of 27 for the Russian Grand Prix at the XLF1 League. And Karts looks like he's dropped out of that DRS range. Mark Bowe has closed up onto the back of RaKiMaJe. Only 0.7 of a second between these two at the moment, so this is getting pretty juicy. Oh no, Mark Bowe's lost it. Oh, he's pinned it into the wall, and there's a bit of a carbon fibre there on the track. Yeah, double waved yellow flags through sector 2. He's lost his front wing. Oh no, that's so unfortunate there for Mark Bowe. He's going to have to Andrew Pittsmith closing up onto the back of him very shortly. Oh, you've got to feel for Mark Bowe there. He was in with a shout of a podium spot there. He was going to be... He had the strategic ace up his sleeve there with Viper and RaKiMaJe being on the soft and himself being on the mediums. He needs to bring it in at the end of this lap and put a set of hards on or something and try and go to the end, I feel, in order to completely... in order to make his race kind of like worth something here, but... oh no, you really got to feel for him there. He's now got Karts coming up into the back of him, and into the pits he comes. Thankfully for him, he wasn't too far from the end of the lap. He was sort of like about 2/3 of the way through the lap. He was coming into the final sector as that happened, so he didn't have to go too far with a wounded car, but into the box he comes to get a new front wing on that Aston Martin, and I presume some new shoes as well. But that was really the only battle out on the track now, and we've kind of been robbed of that one. So up into 7th, still nobody has pitted at the moment. Everybody's just been keeping going, keeping at it. No pit stops so far in this race. Andrew and Karts separated by about 1.4 seconds, but not really too much going on. Horatio's pulled up onto the back of Paul Codd. He'll be looking to try and get ahead of him as soon as he can, because Horatio obviously at that moment on the first lap came into the pits very early and has done, well, pretty much he's done, says he's done 7 laps on those mediums. I think he's done 8 laps on them, but he's up the inside here of Paul Codd and moves himself into 8th place. Relatively routine stuff there. Horatio continuing his fight back and up into 8th place. Mark Bowe has put on the hard tyres, so he can probably go to the end of this race quite comfortably, actually. He will have a deficit in pace down to the fact that the hards are a bit slower, but they're much more durable, and he's already picked off Paul Codd there up into 9th. Not too far off Horatio either, so we could be seeing these two locking horns pretty soon as Mark Bowe on those fresh hards tries to chase down the rest of the pack. Horatio on those slightly more mediums will be up next for him, but Viper and RaKiMaJe both coming into the pits here at the end of lap 10. That promotes Andrew Pittsmith up into 2nd. He's 20 seconds off from the race leader Bennett, though. Bennett, LCFC, looking very much like he's going to be taking another win here in the XLF1 League. Took 6 wins in a row before Sunday night at Monza, where he came a little bit unstuck. But bouncing back to his brilliant best here so far in this one. Paul Codd coming into the pits. Karts has just come out of the pits there and emerges just in front of Horatio and Mark Bowe. So Cart's doing a reasonable job there in the pits. Mark Bodo really has lost out massively with that little skirmish that he had into the wall. Cart's putting the mediums on. That's a bit of a ballsy choice there. 17 laps on the mediums around this track, not going to be easy at all. But we'll see if he's able to do it. Bennett on those medium tyres has done 11 laps so far. Is he going to come in? He definitely looked like he was thinking about it, didn't he? But staying out. Andrew Pittsmith has done 10 laps on those softs. Surely he's going to come in at the end of this lap. I can't imagine he's going to be able to go any further than this on those, because they have gone an absolute age and they are going to be definitely falling off the cliff pretty soon. Iron Wolf has done likewise, and he's got RaKiMaJe crawling all over the back of him in this battle 4-4. So is Andrew Pittsmith going to pull the trigger? Yes, he does. In he comes. Iron Wolf, I'm sure, is going to do the same here at the end of this lap. I can't imagine he's going to stay out any longer than he has to here. Is he coming in? Yes, he is. So he's bringing that car in to put some fresh set of boots on, and that promotes RaKiMaJe up into 4th place, and he'll eventually move up into 3rd because Andrew Pittsmith is also in. But Bennett LCFC's lead out the front, 28 seconds over Viper. Viper's put some fresh mediums on. I'm sure Viper's going to try and go to the end on these mediums. It's not going to be easy for him though, for sure. 16 laps on the mediums around Sochi would be no mean feat. The gap 28 seconds, so I reckon Bennett should come out with about a 5-second lead. Could still be race on. I mean, Bennett's got to use the softs still, or the hards. He could put the hards on, or he could just go long into this stint. But Viper's going to have a bit of a pace advantage at this point because his tyres are much fresher than Bennett's. Can he use that to his advantage, close that gap, maybe jump Bennett in the pits, and possibly then keep him behind him for the last part of the race? That's got to be Viper's real strategic ploy in this one if he were to take the win in this one. We'll have to see if he can make that work. Andrew's within 7/10 of Carts at the moment as these two fight it out over 4th place. This could get interesting as they've got Mark Bow and Horatio both closing up onto them, but Mark Bow has caught and passed Horatio. He's now up into 6th ahead of the Red Bull. Carts, Andrew Pittsmith and Mark Bow look like they're going to be pretty close very shortly though. Gap is coming down at the front between Bennett and Viper, so Bennett is losing time to Viper with Viper on those fresh medium tyres. Bennett's done 12 laps on his, so we'll be feeling a little bit of wear and tear on those. Viper though has picked up a penalty for track limits, I would imagine, either that or speeding in the pit lane. Either way, he has picked up a bit of a skirmish there as RaKiMaJe does the fastest lap of the race, and he's only 4 seconds behind Viper at this point, so RaKiMaJe on a bit of a charge at this point in the race. Cart's 1.3 seconds ahead of Andrew Pittsmith, and Mark Bow now closing right up onto the back of Andrew here. He's very, very close. He will have DRS down this part of the track. Is Mark Bow going to be able to make that DRS beneficial to his advantage here as they come towards turn 1? The corner comes just in time there for Andrew Pittsmith, and Mark Bow can't get there around him for the time being. It cuts the inside of turn 2. Oh, mate, that was a bit naughty. Oh, no. Well, he gets himself up into 5th place there, but if I were Andrew Pittsmith, I'd probably be cursing that one because that was just dodgy. But Mark Bow up into P5 there, cutting the inside of turn 2. Viper within 27 seconds of the race leader Bennett, continuing to get the pace down. You lose about 1/10 of a second a lap on the every lap that you do on the medium tyres, so I'd say Viper probably has quite a bit of advantage at this point in the race, probably about a second a lap in terms of actual overall pace. Bennett is very quick and is trying to neutralise that as much as he can, but right now it looks like Viper's really bringing that gap in at quite a rate. Mark Bow now very close on the back of Karts. These two separated by 0.3 of a second right now. Mark Bow wanted to clear him quick because Mark Bow had the pace at the front, was battling it out for the podium spaces with Viper and RaKiMaJe in the early stages, but kind of got pushed out of that battle due to his little mistake when he was on the back of RaKiMaJe. Trying to clear Karts as quickly as he can. Mark Bow can easily get to the end of the race and can push those hard tyres as much as his heart desires. Oh, big slide there from Mark Bow all over that curb. Oh, he's really pushing it, isn't he? He wants to get this move done as quickly as he can on Karts. But that is living dangerously there for Mark Bow. Very, very close to losing it and bending it into the barriers there for sure. Graphic indicating there that those who started on the mediums can come in and make their one-stop strategy work, or maybe it's oh no, that's probably a notice to those who started on the hards. Obviously Bennett can't put another set of mediums on because he started on them, so he's got to use 2 different tyre compounds. So I imagine he'll try and go to about lap 17 and put the softs on or something like that. But Mark Bow still on the back of Karts, still trying to get something done here. Horatio looks like he's closing up onto the back of Andrew Pittsmith a little bit. Less than 2 seconds between them. You can see there on the timing screen. Gap coming down between Bennett and Viper. Viper continuing to make use of those fresh mediums. The gap's now 25 seconds between Bennett and Viper. So that's going to be interesting once Bennett comes into the pits. We know that the pit stop will cost you around between 22 and 25 seconds around most circuits. So that is going to be extremely tight between those two. But here's Mark Bow still trying to get something done here with Karts. Mark Bow on the hards, but he's got a pace advantage over Karts. We know that he's quick around this track, and he's just looking for an opening here if he can. As he gets a big slide there out of that corner. Seems to struggle in this last sector. Just Mark Bow a little bit out of the final corner. Is he going to be close enough here? If he can get a good run out of the final corner, he might have an opportunity to make the DRS work for him. And look at that, Karts with a not a great exit out of the final corner. Mark Bow's going to have a good opportunity here. He'll have DRS wide open coming down this part of the track. There we go. He's going to have the closing speed there in that slipstream. He's going to look to the outside as Karts tries to cover the inside line. Mark Bow is going to try and go around the outside here. We've seen him do this a few times. He keeps cutting the inside of turn 2, and he's done it again. And he's going to have the inside for turn 3. So Mark Bow up into P4 there. Gap between Viper and RaKiMaJe is 4 seconds. Bennett trying to make this one-stop strategy work, and he's going to go as long as he can on these medium tyres and try and make sure that he can put the softs on for the final stint. As he's got 24 seconds ahead of Viper, who's sat in second. Viper continued to reel that gap in about a second a lap. Viper obviously is on 12 lap younger tyres. RaKiMaJe is matching the pace of Viper though. These two are going to be hot on Bennett once Bennett comes in, but Bennett will be able to put the soft tyres on and will have a considerable pace advantage on those fresh soft tyres. It'll probably be about worth about a second and a half a lap by the time he puts those on. Or maybe about a second actually, thinking about it. So yeah, Bennett, once he gets to the end of this lap, will be able to put those soft tyres on, and then he will be a lot quicker than Viper and RaKiMaJe once he comes out of the pits. Mark Bow having got ahead of Karts, now 4 tenths between them. Karts still not giving up, he's still very much there. Oh, Mark Bow gets a very shaky run coming out of the final corner, and Karts will have the DRS wide open here. It'd be funny if Karts were to cut the inside of the turn 2 and overtake him, wouldn't it? But here we go, Karts pulls out of the slipstream, pulls to the inside, onto the brakes they come. Is he going to get it stopped in time? Yes, he does. But Mark Bow looking to try and get the cut back on him if he can, and this time keeps it within track limits. Mark Bow up the inside of turn 3. Great move there from Mark Bow. Back up into 4th place. Can Karts try and come back at him into turn 4? No, he can't. And that is how you overtake cleanly and properly within the track limits. Mark Bow there, brilliantly coming back at Karts in that little scrap. P4 and P5 giving us a great show, but now Mark's a little bit wide, and Karts is going to look back up the inside here and is back up into 4th place. Oh, this is great racing from these two. The Mercedes and the Aston Martin drivers absolutely giving it 110% out there, but Karts has managed to maintain 4th place there by the skin of his teeth. And Mark Bowe back to the drawing board for him. Will look to get DRS at the next opportunity. Bennett into the pits. Here is the big news in this race. Bennett, LCFC, the race leader, has brought it in and he's off and on his way already. Viper, a couple of corners to go. Where is the pit exit there? The pit exit is just up ahead of Bennett. He's got about 50 metres to go until the pit exit there. Viper, though, is coming down the start-finish straight, and Viper's going to get him, I think. Viper's come round to take the lead of the Russian Grand Prix here for the XLF1 League, but the gap is only about a second between them, and Bennett, on those fresh soft tyres, will have a major pace advantage. RaKiMaJe there has come out in 3rd, didn't manage to get the jump on Bennett like Viper did, but Viper, with a penalty and with slightly worn out medium tyres, has now got to absolutely drag that McLaren around. If he was to win this race, he needs to have more than a 3-second gap, I think it is, to Bennett, if he wants to take the W. Bennett LCFC could be on for another win here after he failed to win at Monza on Sunday night on the back of a 6th race winning streak before that. But he's now looking like he wants to reinvigorate that winning streak for sure. Karts on the back of Mark Bowe. This is the fight for 4th, as we see Mark Bowe going very wide there. Karts unable to capitalise on that though at the moment. Sofa's got ahead of Horatio. As Horatio's in the pits, that's why. But Karts still very much in striking distance of Mark Bowe, and Bennett's in the lead. Bennett's got ahead of Viper there, missed that one on the stream, but he's managed to find his way through. And Bennett LCFC on those fresh soft tyres now has the ascendancy here in this race, and I can't see him looking back from here. Viper must have made a little mistake because the gap was almost a second between them, so they had a bit of a buffer. But Bennett LCFC can now control this one, and it should be able to see this one out in the final 9 laps of this race here, Russian Grand Prix at the XLF1 League. Bennett and Viper have been giving it everything here in this race, but Viper now probably is going to be looking into rearview mirrors because RaKiMaJe has done a bit of a charge in 3rd, and he needs to hold on for that 2nd place. Bennett will probably just disappear off into the distance now, I would imagine, on those tyres. As we got Karts looking to the inside of Mark Bowe coming in towards the final corner. Mark Bowe goes very late on the brakes, but manages to get it stopped for the corner and just about holds on ahead of Karts here. Out of the final corner, Karts have DRS coming down the start-finish straight. Is he going to have an opportunity here? You can see Andrew Pittsmith in the background there, just coming into your shot in 6th place, but Karts is going to have DRS down this section of the track. I think he's a little bit too far back to go for the move into turn 1. He'll have a think about it, but Mark Bowe should be able to hold on to that for the time being. Paul Cods picks up a time penalty for track limits by the looks of it. Mark Bowe still just clinging on ahead of Karts at the moment, but this is an absolutely brilliant battle between these two. These two have been going at it lap after lap after lap for the last few laps here, but Mark Bowe just holding on ahead of Karts. Great little scrap between these two here in this race. But Mark Bowe is going really wide there through some of the corners. I'm noticing this. He seems to be getting well offline and probably getting quite a bit of dirt on those tyres. He's probably picking up a lot of marbles. You can see he's got some flat spots there on those tyres. And Karts is having a look here to the outside. He's going to have the inside for the next corner if he can keep his car there. But no, once again, Mark Bowe breaking in all the right places. And he's not giving Karts any sniffs up the inside for the time being. He goes very wide there onto the artificial grass as Mark Bowe, but manages to survive that little skirmish. Just noticing on the timing board that Horatio's closed up onto the back of Sofa a little bit. He'll have DRS down this part of the track. Is he going to be able to use that to his advantage? I think Sofa's going to just about hold on. The corner's going to come just in time for the Red Bull, looking to try and make inroads on the cars up ahead. Mark Bowe's also lost out to Karts. Karts up into 4th. Mark Bowe's going to try and come back in him, but he's got Karts has got DRS, which will help him defend the position up in towards turn 1. Karts has managed to get himself P4 once again. Mark Bowe losing out there, cutting the inside of turn 1 again as well. But he's going to look back up the inside for turn 3. Oh, they're going to be side by side. Karts leaving the space. Mark Bowe's going to try and go around the outside of turn 4. Is he going to be able to get this done? Mark Bowe just about squeezing around the outside, using track limits. Really abusing those track limits there, but up into 4th place regardless. Horatio is moving up the inside of Soph here, up into turn 1. I think he's going to have it done up into 8th place. Yes, he does. Routine stuff there from the man in the Red Bull. on those fresh soft tyres, managing to get the move done on Soph, who's done quite a few laps on those hard tyres now in the end. Soph didn't fight that one too hard. Mark Bow and Karts though still separated by 0.6 of a second at the moment. This one is raging on here, lap 21 of 27, just over 6 laps left to go here at Sochi. Mark Bow clinging on by the skin of his teeth, but Karts is really giving this a hell of a good go here in this race. Not long to go now in this race. These two are a long way behind the podium spots. RaKiMaJe looks like he's starting to reel in Viper a little bit, only just up just over 3 seconds between those two, so could maybe be seeing RaKiMaJe giving a bit of a fight to Viper in the final stage of this race. But Mark Bow all over the curb there on the exit of the final corner. Mark Bow is going to have to run. Sorry, Karts going to have to run on Mark Bow. I do apologise. DRS wide open there, looks to the inside. He's going to have it done into turn 1. Can Mark Bow try and fight back around the outside? No, Karts is going to get that done up into 4th. Goes a little bit wide on the exit of turn 2, and he's going to have that inside line for the Olympic Park section. And Karts for the time being holding on to that 4th place. Mark Bow's going to try and get a cut back out of turn 4 if he can, but he's not going to be able to do it. And Karts there very nicely as into 4th place again. These two trading places left, right and centre. Great action that we're seeing here on the Motive Racing YouTube channel for the XL Formula 1 League on the Codemasters Formula 1 game here on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 platforms. Drop a like on the video, guys, and show your appreciation for all these drivers out on track. They're putting on a great show. Drop a subscription, join the links in the description to the XL Racing League and to the Motive Racing website as well. See these two coming down towards the end of the back straight, and Mark Bow wants to looking to try and go around the outside. He's done that beautifully there. He gets a bit of a slide on though on the exit, and his car's going to try and come back in. No, I don't think he's going to be able to. Mark Bow once again getting himself up into that 4th place, noticing the gap between Viper and RaKiMaJe coming down a little bit at a time. Now under 2 seconds separating those two in 2nd and 3rd places. But Mark Bow and Karts are battling each other so hard that they've got Andrew Pittsmith now reeling them in. And Andrew's now only just over a second behind them here as they're coming out of the last corner about to start their 22nd lap of the race. I think Karts is too far back to make the move on the DRS coming down towards turn 1. But these two just going back and forth, and it is great to watch. They're really putting on some great entertainment here on the Motive Racing channel tonight. But still Mark Bow holding on just about here ahead of Karts. And Andrew Pittsmith will be joining the picture very soon if these two don't stop scrapping. But then again, the scrapping is what we want to see. It's brilliant to watch here. And I think these two are more than deserving of a like here on the video, to be fair. As the gap between Viper and RaKiMaJe continue to come down a little bit, but it's kind of just, it's ebbing and flowing really, to be honest with you. As Mark still got 0.6 back to Karts at this point, 1.2 back to Andrew Pittsmith sat in P6, keeping the gap around the same to these two. Having said that, they might be slowing down each other a little bit at this point. As we've seen Mark Bow really cutting the curb there, and that's allowed Karts up into 4th place there. Did not need a second invitation up the inside, and he's going to be now trying to hold on once again. But Andrew now really close on these two, less than a second behind them. He's going to have DRS on Mark Bow here. Mark Bow though got DRS on Karts. Around the outside he goes, around turn 1, and it's going to be side by side in towards the braking zone for turn 2. I think that's going to be job done there for Mark. Yes, he does get it on Karts there. Karts really countered the curve on the exit of the final corner. That allowed Mark Bow to get the position back on him. But Andrew Pittsmith lost a bit of time there to those two actually coming through turns 1 and 2. And he's now just over a second adrift of them. But they're continuing to fight it out here on lap 23 of 27. 4 laps left to go here at the Sochi Autodrome here at the Olympic Park here in Russia. Been racing here in F1 since 2014. Always provides some great action here. There's Russia, and these two, Mark Bow and Karts, are providing some of the best of it here on the Motive channel here for the XLF1 League. Real poster boys for the XLF1 League. Bit of a depleted grid for this week, but that being said, usually they've got at least 15 cars out on the track, sometimes even a full grid. So this just obviously a bit of a unfortunate night. Maybe coincidentally a lot of people happen to not be able to make the race, but the guys who are here and are giving it everything are really doing a superb job here. Mark Bow still keeping carts behind, but Andrew is now very much in this battle here for fourth place as they're about to come out of the final corner here. It's going to be all about who can get this better exit. Mark Bow continuing to go ever so wide out of the final corner. Carts is now going to have slipstream once again. He'll have DRS. Andrew Pitts will have DRS on Carts as well. But here comes Carts. He's going to try and duck out that slipstream up towards turn 1, is he? Yes, here we go. Up towards turn 2 we come. And I think Carts is back up the inside into fourth. He's going to overshoot the corner though. Yes, he does. Mark Bow's going to try and use that extra speed that he's got, getting the better exit out of the corner and try and hold it around the outside of turn 3 into turn 4. But Carts is going to fend that one off, and Mark Bow unable to get it around him. He's going to try and get a cut back here. Andrew now very much on the back of these two. 6/10 separating these three as they're coming into turn 5. But Carts looks like he's there in fourth place, and Andrew now is going to get the run on Mark Bow. He will have DRS down the next long straight. Andrew Pittsmith ducking and diving as he's not put a lap on one of the lap cars there. That's Paul Codd there, moving well out of the way for the leaders as they're continuing to scrap it out. 1/10 of a second between Carts and Mark Bow at the moment. Mark Bow now really back onto the rear end of him, but he gets all over that curb there. He hates that curb because Mark Bow, he seems to be, I don't know what he's done to those curbs, but he's definitely done something to upset them, as now he's looking back to the outside of Carts, and round the outside Mark Bow goes up into fourth place. Where did that come from? Carts looked like he must have got a horrible exit out of the previous corner. Mark Bow back up into fourth place. Andrew Pittsmith still on the back of this trio, and so Mark Bow claps the curb again there, coming through that part of the track. Now Andrew's looking back up the inside of Carts once again. Can't get it done, and Mark Bow's now managed to gap these two a little bit through the last part of the lap there. Now 6/10 he's got a bit of a cushion back to these two. I say a cushion, that's the biggest cushion he's had for about quite a few laps here in this race, but this is going to rage on all the way to the flag between these three, Mark Bow, Carts and Andrew Pittsmith. Take your hat off and drop the like on this video to these three guys for the performance they put on right now. Viper has got a bit of a gap back to RaKiMaJe. He's now starting to pull away. Now 4.5 seconds separating those two in second and third places. This is where it is at in the final part of this race between Mark Bow, Carts and Andrew Pittsmith. And this one surely going to go down to the wire, but Mark Bow just about holding on ahead of Carts and Andrew Pittsmith at the moment. Great racing from these guys. Was now very close on the back of Carts, coming through into the DRS zone. Carts just about with DRS on Mark Bow, not close enough though to give him any sort of threat, but the thing that was advantageous there for Carts was that he had DRS coming into turn 1, which kind of allowed him to defend from Andrew Pittsmith, and Andrew Pittsmith not able to get ahead of him. So Carts still holding on there in that 5th place. It's giving Mark Bow a little bit of respite there in that 4th place. It's giving him that opportunity to try and pull away if he can. But Andrew's still giving Carts a big old headache in the final part of this race. This is going to go down to the wire between these two, as Mark Bow's now put a second between himself and those two. Horatio's closed up onto the back of Iron Wolf in this fight for 7th place as well. He's been reeling him in over these last few laps, and Horatio looks like he's been waved through there. Iron Wolf not making that difficult at all. Horatio up into 7th place. Andrew's still behind Carts, still can't get it done These two now 1.6 off of the back of Mark Bowers. Now Andrew's got DRS on karts. He's going to look to the inside. It will become the outside for the braking zone, but Andrew Pittsmith has got it done before we even got to the corner. Andrew Pittsmith up the inside, and he's done it on karts. He's up into 5th place. Well done, Andrew Pittsmith. His perseverance there has paid off as karts, his medium tyres may be starting to wear off a little bit now. Mark Bow and Andrew Pittsmith seems to have a bit of pace over him at this point in the race. And they're both up into 4th and 5th place. His kart's down to 6th, but it's given it a really good go in this race and has been involved in some excellent battles over the course of it. As Mark Bow, Andrew Pittsmith and kart's about to start their 27th and final laps of this race. Really big congratulations to these guys for the show that they put on here on the channel. But Bennett LCFC, we've barely spoken about him in the second half of this race. It looked like it was going to be nip and tuck with himself and Viper in the first part. They were kind of just trading the lap times. In the phase of the race where Viper had the fresh mediums on, he was actually lapping a lot quicker than Bennett, and he was closing that gap. He managed to get ahead of him through the pit stops, but Bennett on those fresh soft tyres, what was never really in doubt was he closed up onto the back of Viper. He made mincemeat of him, moving up into the lead of the race. Has since pulled out 15 seconds of a gap out the front. Bennett LCFC took 6 wins on the trot before Monza on Sunday night. Had a bit of a poor race last time out, as we saw, but he's bounced back from that brilliantly to take the checkered flag here at Sochi. It's the Russian Grand Prix win for Bennett LCFC for the XLF1 League. What a brilliant drive there from Bennett. Viper's coming in towards the final couple of corners. It's going to be a second place finish here for Viper. In the end, finishing 15 seconds behind Bennett on the road. RaKiMaJe taking a well-deserved podium finish there. Good drive from him. Really kept going there. Karts is back up in P4, and Mark Bow has made a mistake on the final lap. Mark Bow, is he out of fuel? I think he is. Mark Bow has run out of fuel on the final lap. Karts and Andrew Pittsmith to the line. Andrew gets ahead of Karts. I think Karts is out of fuel, is he? I don't know. I don't think he is. Andrew Pittsmith has made absolute mincemeat of him there, and he's up into 4th place. So Andrew into Paul Codd's DNF. I think he's now run out of fuel. Andrew, though, in towards the final 2 corners here at Sochi. He's going to take a 4th place here. Well done to Andrew. He got overtaken by Karts on the last lap, but then got back ahead of him due to Karts presumably running out of fuel as he limps over the line to take 5th place. Mark Bow had 4th place in the bag there, but it's going to be 6th for him due to that last lap shortage of fuel. Horatio is going to come around to take 7th place. Got ahead of Iron Wolf. Sophie's now ahead of Iron Wolf, so Iron Wolf also has run out of fuel. Everybody running out of fuel. Unbelievable stuff. Mark Bow takes 7th. Soph is coming in towards the final 2 corners of the lap, and it's going to be an 8th place finish here for Sophie in the Ferrari. Some good points, 4 championship points for her. Iron Wolf, Soph crosses the line in 8th place. Iron Wolf coming through the final part of this lap. It's going to be 9th place here for him after running dry here on the last lap. He will be able to get to the flag, but he's going to have to just weave around a little bit, keep the energy going in that car, and he'll pick up 2 points for his trouble. So Iron Wolf out of the final corner to take 9th place here in this race. Bennett LCFC is your winner for round 13 of the XL Formula 1 League Tier 1. Congratulations, Bennett, once again on the top step of the podium. Andrew Pittsmith gets driver of the day for this one, but Bennett LCFC takes home the plaudits, taking the win there after switching to the soft tyres at the end and putting out the gap to Viper. Viper a brilliant 2nd place here in the McLaren. 3rd place goes to RaKiMaJe, also a good result there for him. Big thank you to everybody who joined us live on the YouTube channel for Motive Racing. But this isn't about Motive Racing, this is about the XLF1 League. If you want to join the XLF1 League, then go to the description down below and click the link, the top link, and that will take you to the Discord server. They've got 3 different tiers. The Tier 1 League usually quite full up, but unfortunately tonight a lot of the drivers couldn't make it. But they've got 3 tiers, 3 packed out tiers across their leagues on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 platforms. If you want to get involved, then click that Discord link in the description. But big thank you to everybody who joined us. Drop a like on the video, and we will see you in the next one, guys. Have a great evening, and good night.